that moment when Vegito is not even the best part of the whole freaking episode. So we go into this episode. I know all of us saw that preview last week. We were all waiting for Vegito. You know, it was completely hyped. You see all this Photoshop stuff all over the internet. You know, you see Vegito spitting blood from his mouth and all this stuff on the internet. Just everybody trying to figure out what's going to happen in the upcoming episodes and stuff like that. You know, and, you know, some of the things that were spoiled were things about Vegito's weakness. And I was one of those people that figured, okay, so they say that Vegito has a weakness, so what could it possibly be? And it turns out his weakness is just the fact that his fusion doesn't last for an hour. So my brother Vegito is still OP, just that his crap don't last that long. Honestly though, this episode was freaking great because you would think that we're waiting for Vegito. He maybe lasted for, I believe, like maybe 8 minutes, 10 minutes worth of freaking on-screen time. But honestly, my favorite part of this whole episode was just seeing Trunks just go in. I've mentioned this in previous videos before. If you're new to this channel, Trunks is my favorite Dragon Ball Z character. Ever since I've seen him in the history of Trunks, that crap got me so hyped. I love Trunks. And to see my favorite dude just go in and freaking save the whole planet, essentially saving his own timeline, that's what's up. You cannot take that away from Trunks. And I'm just so glad that in Dragon Ball Super, finally we see people that are actually able to do something for themselves. Yeah, we saw that the people kind of helped in the Buu saga, and they rose their hands for Goku, and you know, with Hercule pushing them to, of course, they were able to kill Majin Buu. But the thing is, though, is that in this case, you have a little girl. She has courage. She has faith. She believes that Trunks will not lose. And with that little fire of hope in her heart, she was able to push her brother to believe the same thing and thus influence all the people that are around them. They've literally seen people die because of Goku Black. They're losing their faith. But in this little moment, this girl was able to strike the hearts of all these people. That is so key to this freaking victory. That moment alone, that sprinkle of faith. I love this I keep saying chapter. I love this episode. This episode was literally 10 out of 10. Because, yeah, we were waiting for Vegito, but that's not the point. The point is that the future needs to be saved. We already knew that Vegito wasn't going to be enough to beat Zamasu. I've already accepted, like, Vegito is my favorite out of the two fusions, but I've already accepted he is not going to be the key to beating Zamasu. I knew that from the get-go. I mean, when they started talking about how he was an immortal god, as in Zamasu, I knew that Vegito wasn't going to be able to beat him. Yeah, he was going to throw in a few punches in there, but honestly, if you really think about it, Vegito, was he really that useful? I mean, really all he did was kind of make Zamasu more angry. And I know people are going to be kind of like, you know, well, I'm just glad that we got Vegito. And I feel the same because honestly, we needed that. With all the talk about fusion, I would have been pissed if they didn't give us fusion in the first place. Even though it was just for a little bit, I'm just glad that we got Vegito when we got him. And with that final Kamehameha, bro, that thing is lit. I'm just glad that that crap is canon now. I don't think he did that in the original Dragon Ball series, but he did do that in the Tenkaichi games. So yeah, but you know, this episode was freaking great. I just love how Trunks got the hilt of his sword back and he just turned that to like some type of lightning, like some light blade or something like that. And he essentially managed he mastered the ability to control spirit energy and utilize that so that he can absorb it into his body and be able to beat Zamasu. Now that's what I'm talking about. But one thing that was really kind of getting me in this episode is that Gowasu seemed to know more than he should have. Because I mean, yeah, it makes sense that, you know, he's a Kai, so he would know stuff. But at the end of the day, you know, he was kind of answering a lot of questions that were just kind of like, you know, how do you know that? Like, how would he know that the Patara earrings don't last more forever for people that aren't Kais, but Supreme Kai didn't know that. That makes no sense. You would think that Supreme Kai would know that you're humans, you're not Kais. This isn't going to last more than an hour. But at the end of the day, I think that that's just kind of a device they threw in there to kind of fill a plot hole from years ago, because I mean, that had really been unexplained for a long time. Some people said that essentially Buu was a factor in how Vegito was able to split up the first time. And, we kind of just rode with that and, accepted the fact that, Patara earrings last forever. But if you notice in this episode, you see that Vegito's Patara earrings are yellow and Zamasu's Patara earrings are green. So that does kind of make sense. They seem to have had this planned ever since they made this arc to differentiate between the permanent fusion of Zamasu and the permanent fusion of Vegito. But I'm just glad we got Vegito. Even though he was essentially not that influential to this battle, it was a really good way to kind of hold out the fight until Trunks came in and he received the courage of all the humans on the planet. I'm just glad that finally someone besides Goku and Vegeta was able to save themselves. This one goes to the humans and Trunks. Trunks saved the future, and he couldn't have done it without all the humans that held on to hope. I'm really glad I watched this episode. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Tell me, what do you think about Trunks doing something for himself and for his future without really having to rely on Goku and Vegeta to finish his job for him? Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, and peace out.